Oh, hi, my dear Colleen. Oh, my goodness. I am so excited to have you here today. It's been sort of a difficult, we say in German, humpeligen Weg. It was sort of like a bumpy road to this video today. You were feeling not very well with your voice, and we didn't know until this morning. Well, actually, your morning, already my afternoon. So I'm going, we'll see if it's going to work out or not. And it did work out. And I am so, so thankful that you have shown up today with your not feeling too well. You look marvelous. You look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. I think I probably, I definitely feel a whole lot better than I did during the rest of this week. So today is improved. It may sound a little nasally. I may have to like touch my nose a couple of times and take a few sips of water, but I'm here. I'm showing up and giving it my all.
Yes, and I now really wanted to introduce you as it should be done, because you are one of the, for me personally, one of the most important people. You have become one of the most important people as far as online business and in our challenge. We're in this one challenge away. No,
one group away challenge.
Away challenge. I'll get that right. And I just been so inspired by the way you work, the way you are. This woman, everybody, she is amazing. Like, amazing. Like, I'm a workaholic, but this girl, she is a bumper. I don't know how she does it. She's got a full-time job. She has a doctorate in educational leadership and technology, and as a member of Russell Bronson's Comma Club mastermind group, she has shattered sales records and topped leaderboards, beating out even the most famous of marketers. And now she started in a Facebook group, I think like in June. Was it in June?
A little before that. June is when it really took off, but I actually started it back in March, sort of by accident. Didn't try to do anything with it. So June's when it took off. Yeah.
And she's broken records, defined boundaries. I've got this from our friend Nathan Spells. Thank you, Nathan.
He wrote such a good bio on me.
Yes, but it was so wonderful. I just had to think, okay, I couldn't have written anything better. So.
Me neither. Okay, I send Nathan's out now when people ask me for my bio. I give them his what he wrote for me.
Yeah, and so you turn this accidental it's what we call the synchronicities of life, isn't it? Because sometimes we end up completely somewhere else where we're not planning to go. I know this from singers like Diana Krall. I don't know if you know her.
I've seen her in concert, loved twice actually.
Yeah.
Loved Diana Krall.
And she's a colleague of mine, and I know her personally, and I got to know her before she even got famous. And, we talked, she said, Judy, I wasn't planning on being a singer. She's a pianist.
Okay.
Like the record company said, well, it would be kind of cool if you sang with it. It's sort of, make it. She said, you think so? And so that's, these are synchronicities. These are things that happen that you just don't even plan on, right?
Right.
Yeah. So she accidentally venturing into a profitable 5-figure business in under 4 months. I mean, and she's got a full-time job, guys. Like, I don't know when you start in the morning, 8 till 5 or whatever. And she's also a superintendent from a school. She's a director of a school. And that is really a lot on your plate, Colleen. I don't know how you do it.
Keeps me busy.
And today we had a time difference problem, and she was already, with her very, very scheduled time. And I felt so awful that I had forgotten to tell her our clocks have changed back here in Germany, back to the winter time. Just a couple of days ago, like last Sunday. And I forgot to tell her. So here she is sitting there waiting.
We made it work. We figured it out. I did what I needed to do to be here. So it's okay.
Okay. So, anyways, with her background in education and technology, Dr. Carroll has reached levels of success only dreamed of by all of us out here in internet land. The only other person
Well,
that I can really think of who made such a much a development is Doug Boughton, who I was in his first course. I was one of his founder
great guy.
members. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he and I are good friends now. He actually lives pretty close to me in Connecticut, so we can see each other for lunch, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Well,
he was on my Dream 100. Now he's a friend. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I was in Doug's group quite a long time, and I feel the same atmosphere from you. He was helping everybody. He just had this, like he just did everything for everybody. Now, as he got really, 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 really big, it was a little more difficult for him, but
It
you
does.
know,
As you grow, it gets harder.
it
Yeah.
it does get harder. Yeah, I can imagine. And then you've got to take care of this Facebook group and all of the people in your Facebook group. I don't know how you do it. You're doing more like a triple load. And now I am so excited to have her here on the show today because I know that she has to use her voice a lot. And I have a lot of teachers, but in my how do you say, my Kundenschaft. I say I'm speaking German all the time. I have a lot of teachers that come to me who have problems with their voice because they have to use their voice all day long. And when I'm able to show them a few tips, and I noticed with your voice, Colleen, that you're overusing your voice, and you could use it much much better to not how's the right word in English, not to overtax your voice. You're overtaxing your voice all the time,
I
right?
agree. I'm glad you noticed and can do something to help me with it because I feel like that's very true. And I don't have the knowledge like you do to fix that. So I'm very excited about the strategies you'll be able to give me today.
Yeah. So you were saying you noticed this week that you had your voice is sort of gone and it's scratchy, and of course you've got a cold. But then you notice when you don't have a technique to be able to help you, then it becomes really difficult, right? To use your voice,
I
right?
could not get my voice back really because I couldn't not talk, but because I was overtaxing my voice, like you said, getting it back, healing was not happening, and it's still difficult today. So yeah, it became very apparent once I lost my voice and had a sore throat, it wasn't coming back, even though the sore throat went away, and that was because I'm sure, like you mentioned, I do a lot of, probably, well, you'll tell me, but projecting too much or overusing my voice, and
Okay.
so I'm looking to be more efficient about that for sure.
Okay. Two things we want to talk about, and that is projecting your voice from your diaphragm. And the second one is about resonating with your voice. And of course, both of those things are probably something that you're not doing. Projecting is one thing, but projecting it from your diaphragm, I don't know. Do you breathe into your diaphragm? Do you use diaphragm breathing?
When I'm cognizant of it, I'm probably more of a chest breather when I'm not thinking about it. I know a lot about diaphragmatic breathing when I'm thinking about it, but it has to be something that I'm paying attention to,
Yeah.
right? Like when I'm thinking about breath work or meditation or something like that, then I'm better at it for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying. I would love to look at your face, but I'm gotta look in the camera. It's really a big challenge for me. So I want to tell you, and oh, by the way, I wanted to welcome all who's here. Who's here? Let's see if we got anybody on here at all. My goodness gracious, let's have a look here. And before we go on and see who's on here today.
I can do the same. I'll try to pull up your group on my phone so I can see.
Oh, I can see us. I can see us, but there doesn't seem to be anyone there yet. If anyone is there, please send us a heart, send us a message, give us some kind of a love, anything that you can show us that you're here. So we'll just keep that up here for now. And I just wanted to let you know, we're going to start with the diaphragm. Now, before I start with the diaphragm, I want to tell you a little something about resonating, right?
Okay.
So what happens is we breathe into the diaphragm. And if you're speaking from your diaphragm, you can hear that I am speaking from my diaphragm. Now, that, of course, helps us to project with the voice. But if you are projecting from around here, you're going to press, right? You're going to press on the vocal cords, and it's going to sound loud all the time. So you want to have some contrast in your voice when you're speaking, right? You want to have sometimes a little bit softer. You want to emphasize some words. You want to maybe get a little softer and a little slower at some point. This all has to do with using your voice for the best possible resonance. Now, we have two vocal cords. The vocal cords are out of mucus. It's like a muscle, right? It's skin muscle. So when your vocal cords sound really, really strengthened to me, you've got strong vocal cords. You have to be. Or otherwise,
I was a cheerleader in high school. I think that's where it started.
Well, I think though, as a teacher, you really need to be
as a teacher
voice,
after
right?
that. Yeah. 10 years of teaching.
Right. And you would have been hoarse by now if you didn't have a strong voice. So on the way, you have strengthened your voice. You have been doing something right with your voice. Otherwise, I get so many teachers that are hoarse, like they just their voice is breaking away. It's thin. They get tired, and they're hoarse all the time. So
right.
But you're not. I don't think you're hoarse in your voice, right?
Not except for after a sore throat. Like today, I'm feeling a little hoarse, but my usual, no, once this clears up, that's not my usual. Correct.
Okay. Back to the vocal cords. The vocal cords, when they close, that's when your voice, your sound is going to be created, either your singing voice or your speaking voice. So what happens is a vibration. It creates a vibration, and this vibration has to go out of your mouth without being held back by anything, right? By any force, by any kind of by pressing on the vocal cords. That vibration is going to be broken. It's like plucking a guitar string. If you pluck it and you stop it somewhere along the way, then the vibration is going to stop. So our goal as a singer and as a speaker is to create a resonance with our voice. And that is something that's sort of missing in your voice because you're putting your voice out there too much. What you want to have is a nice sounding, resonant voice where you don't get the feeling that you are yelling, right? And sometimes I get that feeling. It's just because I'm a vocal coach, I hear it in the voice. And I think you would probably be much, you would enjoy your voice much more if you had more resonance in your voice. So how do we get that resonance? First of all, we get breathing into our diaphragm. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to stand up here. I just received my Judy shirt today. There you go. It's a Judy thing. So I'm going to stand up here and I'm just going to show you. So there's my belly. We want to always breathe. You don't have to do this right now because I know you haven't. So you want to relax the belly, right? So you can see that's my fat belly. I'm relaxing the stomach area. So, which means I'm also relaxing the abdominal muscles that are connected to your diaphragm. So when I breathe in, I want you to make sure that you're breathing and you're expanding. Do you know this? Are you aware of that? This is how we breathe.
I do. Right.
I'm going to breathe in.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are breathing in like that, and you can't have any support if you're breathing in, right? So you've always got to expand. So you're feeling actually a whole tire of air around your stomach. So what happens when I breathe out? I'm breathing in. I breathe out, and the abdominal muscles are controlling that air. So that is the beginning of your speaking and singing voice. If that's your basis, that's the fundament, right? If you're not using your diaphragm properly, you're going to press on your vocal cords. There's just no other way around it because you don't have any other opportunity, right? If you're only breathing here, what's going to happen? You don't have any support. So you're going to press here, right? Now, you can be very, very glad that you have such a strong voice because otherwise, you know, I'm not quite sure if you are not breathing from the diaphragm. I assume that you're probably not using your diaphragm. But when
I'm sure not as well as I could be.
Well, I think as a cheerleader, because I was a cheerleader too for Beale Tech high school. Yeah, to be able to be a cheerleader, you would automatically have to project from your diaphragm. Hey, hey, we are raw, raw. Hey, 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 right? That is what we call projecting from the
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and that's what I have to teach all my students because a lot of them they're talking so softly, you know, they're not aware of their you know, they're not very self-confident now and not
okay.
But you don't
I have the opposite issue. I have the opposite issue. I'm loud even when I don't need to be.
Right.
I'm just consistently loud.
Yeah, and the thing is, you want to get a nice sound in your voice. You want to get some contrast in your voice. So once I breathe into my diaphragm, you feel that breathing impulse. That's what we call a breath impulse. When you say, you can put your hands on your stomach right now when you're sitting there and say, hop, and look what happens with your stomach. Hop. Hop.
Yeah. Hop.
Which is in. Hop.
Hop. Okay. Hop.
Did you see? Did
I use my diaphragm, I feel it go in like a.
It's going in. Okay. Right. Well, it will go in, but when you breathe
from out to in.
Yeah, okay. That's your.
I mean, when I expel the air.
When you breathe in, you're going to expand, and when you use your breathing reflex, it's going to go short back in and back out. Right? It's like a reflex.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Right. It's like touching a hot stove, right? So that is what we need when we speak. And if you're using your diaphragm, you can expand your voice, or you can use it softly because you've got the control down here. So what happens? The tone or the word that you're speaking, at that same explicit second, as you use your atom, your breath impulse, the voice is you're going to create a sound. Hey, hey, right? It's the same time. But if you're not using that impulse, what's going to happen? Hey, 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 hi. This is what's going to happen, right? So I want you to try that. Just say, hi, how are you? From your diaphragm.
Okay.
First of all, breathe into your diaphragm.
I'm going to start with breathing first. So breathe in.
Yeah. Don't breathe
Hi.
through your nose.
Okay.
Don't breathe through your nose.
Okay.
I do that too when I'm meditating or when I'm doing yoga, but you don't have time to do that when you're speaking and when you're singing. So,
Got it. Okay. Mouth.
okay,
No
let's
mouth.
just concentrate on the breathing first, okay?
Yeah. That's a lot of things to think about at
Okay.
one time.
All right. We're gonna do breathing first. And maybe you can remember I have a system. It's called Module 1, breathing in, let your jaw down, and you have a little tension on your upper lip. Because this, afterwards, is your articulation. Your articulation is going to direct that air out into the resonance, right? And that's where you may know, do you know what how do you say Stimmgabel? A tuning fork, that they have in the choirs. It goes pling and he hears the note for the choir. Well, if you take that tuning fork, go pling, and put it on wood, on a wooden door, it's going to amplify a beautiful sound, isn't it? Because it is an amplification body. And so the air out here is an amplification body. It's the same, when all the musicians go into a concert hall, the first thing they're interested in is the acoustic, right? They want to hear how is the resonating, because if you're speaking properly and you're singing properly, you're not resonating. And I think that's what is with you. You're not speaking wrong. You're just not using your voice to make it easier and make it sound more resonant, right? So let's concentrate on the breathing. It's breathe into your diaphragm. Module 1, breathe in, let your jaw down, and a little Spannung, a little bit of tension in your upper lip. Module 2 is breathing out. And you'll notice we're going to use the explosive consonants like S, S, sh. Just do S for the first time, okay? You'll notice that your abdominal muscles will start to tighten, right? So let's try it. So you let the air out. It's like a trampoline down there. Like, that breathing reflex allows the tone to come from your diaphragm. And we control the air going out with our abdominal muscles. So try it again. But you got to open your mouth, sweetheart.
It's open.
That's what everybody tells me. They say, I've got my mouth open. Well, that's why I've got a nice big fat mirror in my room so that people can see that they're not opening. So if you don't open, how's the air going to get in? Yeah, like as if you're making a fish mouth. Okay, and breathe out. Do you feel how the abdominal muscles are tightening? Yeah. Okay, so breathe in again. It looks like you're opening your mouth but not breathing. I can't really tell from here. Are you breathing?
I have a full breath of air.
Okay. 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 And then breathe out. You're going to notice that you're going to breathe when you have all the air out. You want to breathe again right back down into your diaphragm. Let's do that a couple of times. Use a round mouth when you're going, because we need that for later when you're articulating.
With that?
Yeah.
With show teeth or no teeth?
No teeth.
Okay.
The teeth are there's a little bit of place in between them. Look at your mouth and look at mine.
You're showing teeth. I gotta get close. Yeah. Okay, so show teeth is what you want me to do.
Yeah, I guess I want you to show teeth or just have a mouth like a fish.
My best to emulate you.
Yeah, well, you're probably going to have to practice this afterwards in front of a mirror.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. This is giving me the hardest thing I've ever done. This is harder than my PhD. I need to put my glasses on so I can see your face a little better.
Yeah, go ahead. You look really, really teacher-like like that.
Yeah, my librarian glasses. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Hair, by the way, mine was long too, and the hairdresser cut it all off. I'm still waiting it for it to grow back again. So,
all right. So assuming I practice the breathing part.
Yeah, we'll do that again. You breathe in, but you got to open your mouth. That's just the biggest problem with a lot of people is they don't open their mouth, and then breathe in. And then we're breathing out. That's getting better. Yes, 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 yes. Right. Very good. Very good. Maybe I have to watch this afterwards so you can remember what you have to do.
For sure.
Okay, this is just the beginning of learning to speak with your diaphragm. So the next point would be to have your hands on your stomach. You breathe in and you speak a word, like one with a word with the consonants, with the explosive consonants. They are sh, t, k, t, no, but we're just going to use one of them now because we have to take a look at the time. Look at it's already 6:28.
Yeah, getting short on time. Just pick your favorite thing you need to teach me. We'll have to. There's a lot to learn. Obviously, there's so many great things. Can't probably get it all in today.
Right. Well, we'll do our very best to just breathe in once, and I want you to speak a word. Hop.
Okay. Hop.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Short. Then I know you're using your diaphragm. Hey.
Okay. Hey.
Okay, you're stopping the sound in your throat. I don't know if you're aware of that. You're going, hey, right? And I want you to go as if you're calling like a cheerleader over the football place. Hey. Are you ready?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to emulate for me. Okay, I got it. Hey.
Okay, it's too long, just short. Hey.
Okay. Hey.
Yeah, that was better. Did you feel something in your diaphragm?
I do feel my diaphragm.
Okay,
yeah, I'm sure it's not perfect yet, but
is it jumping? Hop.
It's pushing in, yes.
Hello.
Hop. Hello.
Hey, hello.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
I definitely feel the difference.
Yeah.
Hello.
So if you were to,
I can feel it. I mean, I may not have perfected it, but I can.
Oh, it takes a little time. If you were to practice that, what I would like for you is to be able to use your voice with more contrast. That means you wouldn't have to press so much, right? So I want you to try to say a couple of words as if you were on your Facebook group. And try to take the words from your diaphragm.
Okay. Just have to shift mental gears here to talking about something that I would talk about on my Facebook group. Part of the thing is I think I talk very quick. May I ask a question? Here's a question for you that I'm a faster talker, and which means that my breaths are very short in between. And that's probably why I'm much of a chest breather. Perhaps if I worked on slowing down the rate of my speed or the speed of my speaking, I could do better breathing. Therefore, I could do better breathing from my diaphragm and speaking from my diaphragm. Right now, I'm actually cognitively thinking about how I'm slowing my speech on purpose, which feels very slow to me. However, it's the only way I'm actually going to be able to breathe and use my diaphragm to speak, because when you are a faster talker like I am, that's not something that you have time for, right? So I'm noticing that the rate of my speaking is too fast to allow me to do this properly. And if I worked on slowing down the speed of my speaking, I could breathe better and therefore use my diaphragm to speak better.
Okay.
I'm putting it all together, seeing how I have, because I'll go 100 miles an hour. I'm always racing through what I'm talking about. I have so much to get in. You see how I speed up like that.
Yeah.
That
Well,
does not allow me to breathe well, speak
you
well.
can, you can do that later. You can do that. I mean, why not? Because then you have control over your voice, right? If you once you learn this breathing technique, and you learn to use your diaphragm to project your voice instead of using it from here, then you can speak more quickly. That's not a problem.
Right. Right now, I think it's a lot to think about. So I have a learning curve, right? Which means that in order to, we always get worse before we get better sometimes, I guess. That's a teaching thing, right? So a lot of times you actually take a step backward before you can take a step forward, so that you can add in new knowledge. And so with this new knowledge I have, I'm going to have to slow down which I'm okay with actually, because I think I actually speak too quickly sometimes for other people to get all of the information and the content I'm sharing. So I prefer actually to slow down a little bit, allow myself to practice this. I may even announce this in my Facebook group that we had this lesson, and I'm going to be, being cognizant of my breathing and therefore my speaking, which will slow down the rate of my speaking. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. People will be able to actually, learn probably from me better, because I won't be racing through my thoughts. I'm a fast thinker, so therefore I'm a fast speaker.
Yeah, me too.
I can slow all of that down.
Actually.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen once you start using your diaphragm, you're going to be able, listen, when I'm talking, you can hear already some kind of resonance in my voice, right? Okay, I'm not going to talk like that all the time, but generally speaking, when you're speaking from here, you're going to pick up that note, that tone, that word from your vocal cords real quick, like there's no time. It's like a trampoline. It goes real quick with this reflex, right? So then you pick up that word and you start to articulate here. You got to articulate so that the words, you can talk quickly afterwards, but you'll have to use your articulation, and you want to get those words out here. So if I'm speaking, hey everybody, because you want to get some excitement in your voice when you're talking to your audience. I understand that, right? Hey, but I'm using my diaphragm. Do you hear the difference? If you say hey,
I think I do. Yep. I'm pretty sure I do hear the difference. And I understand the concept, and I understand it's just one of those things that someone like me has to practice. I need to actually.
Everyone has to practice.
Yeah.
Everyone. And it takes a little time. So I don't want to hold you up too much longer, because I know you have so many things, and the time thing that didn't work today puts you really in a really
honestly, that you gave me many tips already in a short period of time. And for someone like me who needs to practice, those things, I've learned how to breathe. I've learned how to project. I've learned that process that I need to actually slow it down so I can think about those things. That's actually a lot to work on in one great lesson. So I appreciate that. And perhaps we do a part 2 somewhere down the line, right after I work on these things. I feel like I have already enough to wrap my mouth around, wrap my mind around. I said wrap my mouth around. That was a pun there.
What you can do just to practice, just take a sentence, right? If something that you want to say, maybe in your group, or maybe you've got a speech that you want to hold, speak it slowly and try then to take the words from your diaphragm, like really dissect the whole sentence and see that you're able to use your diaphragm. It's just a practice. Of course, you're not going to talk like that later, right? But you want to get
Got
that
it.
resonance, that sound in your voice, so it doesn't sound like no too loud, too yelling
Right.
kind of thing, right? And people,
Right.
I
Right.
mean, I don't think anyone would ever say your voice sounds awful or terrible. Absolutely not. You've got a great sounding voice. It's just that I think that
Thank you.
you would get a lot of strain away from your vocal cords if you were to use your
Hmm.
diaphragm. So
Thank you so
I'm
much. I
going to,
appreciate it. I definitely do have to wrap it up. I'm looking at
yes,
the time and I've got to
absolutely.
run, but I love the tips you gave me. And I really do appreciate you not holding back on giving me advice and calling out something that I'm doing incorrectly because you have that expertise. I'm very, very happy to know that. And I'm actually relieved that I could do something about the hoarseness. And I'm just really excited about working on those tips, Judy. I really appreciate your time today.
You
Thank you.
so welcome, and I would love if you want any more help, if you have any questions, if you would like to do a little session offline, please get in touch with me. There's no charge
I
because
will.
you've already done so much for so many people.
Okay, thank
I'd
you.
love to help you. All right, take care, and thank you so much for being
Thanks,
here.
Judy. All right, it's been great.
Doesn't look like anyone's
All right,
up
appreciate
today.
it.
All right, take care.
See you soon. It's okay. They'll catch it on the replay. Hashtag
Right.
replay. Bye bye now.
Hashtag replay, right. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.